slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I grind through the climb, I ain't like pain. You never hit the bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, is belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just gotta right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 you got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst I say, turn it to a game. Take the best I say, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a pain, and you find a door. Open it up, and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, still go, go, no hope, still go, I go, so no, still go, go.
Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Alrighty, guys, what's happening? What's happening with it? Pretty important live tonight. Blew my mind, actually, when I figured this out and when I found this guy. So pretty important live tonight, man. We always are talking about missing children, regardless if it's Summerwell, Sebastian Rogers, some of the other bigger names. You guys know how it goes. So it could be unfair with the media coverage, but it doesn't matter what missing child it is. There's a problem going on, man, and there's a guy who literally tracked down the missing children, interviewed them, and he caught all type of shenanigans, people. And it even goes back to my home state. So I'm going to be heading out there off of what he's done. I have to find out where this is very deep, y'all. Tonight's going to be a very deep dive right now. So I'm just giving you a fair warning, trigger warning as well, because what some of these kids said happened to them when they were missing is gonna blow your top off. I can guarantee you that. It's gonna be a tough one. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to sit through it, this might not be the live for you. I am gonna peel this banana back because it needs to be talked about, and it needs to have more awareness. Right now in the Twitter spaces, this thing is blowing up a little bit. It happened a few days ago. So I'm going to show you guys 2 different creators tonight and some shit I guarantee you haven't seen. But what I did post something that you have saw, and that would be the tragedy pimp Dog the Bounty Hunter and his Twitter post that I post on my community wall. I've been telling you guys, Dog the Bounty Hunter's tragedy pimp. Hey, it hurts me too. I used to like the guy, but he's full on tragedy pimp at this point. And that post that let me put the post up. That post that I posted, I got to thinking about something about it, right? And what I was thinking about was, where did this come from? Does Summer Wells' father, Don Wells, have a relationship with Sebastian's mother? ? If you have any information, contact 833-TELL-DOG or email tips@manhunts.one. So let me take some comments, see who's in here. I remember who this came from. This absolutely came from Bullhorn Betty, the moron detective herself that gets everything wrong. In the beginning of the Sebastian Rogers case, she kept she swore she had this mystery solved of the connection of Don Wells and Katie. Don doesn't know these people. I have a public statement from him. So I'll be reading that shortly. And it kind of ties into tonight's live. And I think I will call that number, actually. I think I will. It's not, usually you hear me say, like, these morons are wasting resources by clogging up the TBI's call line. Well, the TBI is a TBI, and Dog the Bounty Hunter is Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's just he's nobody more than me. You know what I'm saying? So I could care less about pranking his tip line. I really can. Why does he have to involve Summer and the Wells with his drama? I know what he's doing. He's trying to get people to talk. Okay, I understand that. But dude, you're shitting on everybody but Seth. It's so weird, the divisiveness of the Sebastian Rogers case. You have to be team Seth or team other. It's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. Let's have a quick peek at who's in here. Maybe someone behind the scenes. Let's see. It says, what's up, Spiritual? Haven't seen you in a while. Dogs on the same sauce as Betty. Yeah, I'm with that. 100% with that. I think a lot to do with his new wife. Jeannie, didn't think about that. BHB brought this up a while ago. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Wildfire Sag. I'm listening while I'm cooking. Hey, white boy, Noel, mods in chat. What's up, Miss Debbie? The commenter of the year goes to Debbie. She is awesome. She always leaves comments. We love her. What's up, Can? What's happening? What's happening is this moron dog is got conspiracy theories out the yang. Candace, do you know what Katie Proudfoot by any chance? He's went full-blown dumbass. That I can get behind. If Jennifer Coffindeffer didn't correct him, you really think anyone else is? Actually, no one else has. Very good point. Very good point. You know, that's a good point. And I don't know why she didn't correct a lot of his fuck shit that was said. And I'm not talking about like even in a case. Like he was talking about like the feds and stuff. She worked for the feds. She didn't even stop to correct any of his madness. It's crazy, people. So we're going to call, what should we call about? Do you think anyone is going to tell Dog he's getting it wrong? Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I'm reading them backwards, actually. Let's go back down here. That gets more insane by the day. The Black Widow channel. Isn't that Cross's wife? Black Widow? A different person? This is just weird as fuck. Someone said, Emma, what's that, Emma? It's Emma. This is not the way to handle it. He's not going to get anywhere. Chill Billy. What's happening, Chill Billy? What's happening, bro? Rapunzel. I think Nick and his cronies are behind this. Nick is weird too. I saw a little bit of it, but back to that whole divisive thing, I guess he attacked or he doxed the lady Granny's watching. I don't know any about it. I haven't seen it or anything. I've heard about it, which is, I don't think she even gives a shit. To my understanding, she's been doxed a million times. So I don't think it's any sweat off her balls, but I could be wrong. I don't know if she got upset or whatever. So I'm just, talking to you guys, but that's weird that he sends Nick to the Granny's chat, they're probably gonna hit up old Jay for Justice soon. And I hate to say it, but Jay has her views. And again, you have a thing here. And what I mean by that is it's pretty clear that they're attacking people who are anti-Seth. Now, for the record, as of today, 9/28/2004, Trevor Lee is still not in good graces with Seth Rogers. And I bring this up because for like months at a time, you saw every tragedy pimp in that would get the corner of Seth Rogers' earlobe and whisper in it, "Trevor Lee's a good guy. But what about Trevor Lee?" And it's just comical. I'm not picking on Trevor Lee. It's comical because they kept trying to get him on the case. But old Seth wasn't having it. Now, look, I don't have a stance here on who did what to Sebastian. I don't think neither party did. I think it's very stupid. I think people latch on to conspiracy theories and negativity on the internet. I think that people would rather believe some YouTube theories than actually police evidence. And I think it's all ridiculous. And I think it's gotten way out of control. But with that said, I think that both parties kind of have cronies, if you will. Right? Let me tell you something, and I'll admit it here for the first time. When I first started helping Don and Candace, I would do live after live. Many of you were in here for it. And I would go after some of these morons and their theories of why they think that Don and Candace has harmed Little Summer. Now, none of the theories made any actual sense, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't get addicted to it a little bit. I started to fall in love with it a little bit. I was wanting more. I wanted to attack them all. It was very fun for me. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I just kept crushing their feelings. And it came to the end where I was scraping the bottle with it, if you will. I was earning for more, like a junkie. I fell in love with destroying these people. The point of me telling you this is it's fun. It's fun. So people would say that Don was sending me in this. Oh no. It was the other way around. I think sometimes he wouldn't want me to go as hard as I did. But I did. And if I'm comparing it to what's happening here, and I would never take any of it back, and I could care less if anybody gets offended of anything I said. I really don't care. But if I'm just giving you guys the honesty, and if I can compare it to what's happening here, I don't know if like Chris or Seth is like sending people to do things. I wouldn't put it past either party, but there may be somebody on each end that's doing a little bit of white boy, if you will, just to give you some insight. I don't know. Your guess is really as good as mine, but I could see it though. I could see it. Absolutely could see it. What's up there, September?
Hello?
There is no connection. It's very stupid. Listen, Bullhorn Betty gets everything wrong all the time. Come on, people. We're talking about Bullhorn Betty. Speaking of her, I really didn't even want to rip into her ass tonight. Maybe I'll send it for the end. I guess I could do this real fast. There's a way more deeper subject to this live, and it's about missing children all in general, and it's going to blow you guys' mind. But before we get there, I guess I could do a little bit of Betty. And I have a public statement from Don, and I guess we'll call Dog, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of the live. We'll do it like that. But Don has been pretty set on his I got a public statement here from Don. Very short and sweet. Maybe I should put this on the screen because with YouTube and all, let's do that. So I'll put it on the screen. Let me make sure I've got his number on here. Yeah, cool. So we'll read it together at the same time, y'all. Here we go. So there's 600 people in here. I don't really even believe that. So some people hit the like. Here's Don. Since Biden opened the borders, anyone could have taken summer, especially, in my opinion, CPS. Their hands are dirty. Everyone knows it. They're trafficking children all over the world for money. We warned of these things in the Bible and how much more worse it will be. Thanks all for prayers. Keep trusting God. That's Don, guys. Tonight, regardless of what you think of his theory, you might think he's crazy, but what I'm going to show you tonight, you can't dismiss the truth. You can't dismiss the truth tonight and what's happening with these missing children. And we have receipts on what's happening to these missing children. We have receipts. It's going to blow your mind. But I think this is a little bit softballed on, if I can't say so myself. So what I'm going to do, what's that number again? 1-833-TELL-DOG. 1-833-TELL-DOG. Let's give it a call, shall we? And I know he listens to all this shit. 1-833-TELLDOG.
Hi, this is Dog the Bounty Hunter. Thank you for calling the tip line. Please leave your number and I will return the call.
Dog the Tragedy Pimp, how you doing? It's Matt. Listen, I don't understand the post on Twitter where you're trying to have a connection between Don Wells and Katie Proudfoot. That came from the other Tragedy Pimp, Bullhorn Betty. Remember the one that got arrested for stalking and harassing the family of Sebastian Rogers? Dog, you're coming off like a Tragedy Pimp. I saw you out there in Brian Laundrie's case. You went for a celebrity stunt, like a little picture, if you will. You walked up to the sister's door, just gave it a knock, and then you took off and went in your black SUV, and you didn't do any searching. And then I saw you all on the news saying that you were searching, Dog. That's shenanigans. That's a pile of horseshit. Now, your partner, Nick the Hat, the guy convicted of fraud with all the racism in the probation office, he's real trustworthy. But on the other hand, the way that you're handling this is coming off very biased and very one-sided. Do you think that these posts that you're making with all your followers are doing harm to anybody, or more good or more harm? Now, I'm a big follower and I'm a big fan. And I know Jennifer Coffindeffer will sit there and suck your asshole and not correct you on things. But as a huge fan, I can't see you go down this lane. I just can't see it. Dog. God damn it, Dog. You and your 71-year-old blonde pubes, you need to stop this right now. Just stop it. You're looking really bad. It's very biased, and it's disgusting behavior. It's disgusting behavior. Stop it right now, Dog. All righty. Well, now that's over with. That's the second time. He does have blonde pubes. So we'll call him back at the end of the night, at the end of this live. I kept calling him Don. I don't know if that's going to piss him off more or what, but whatever. All right. So guys, look, so bleach pubes. Exactly. He went for the old platinum look, huh? The old platinum look. What the hell is this? Oh, it's Tiffany's carrot over here. I keep seeing the carrot right here. I keep looking at the screen. I keep seeing the fucking carrot. All right. Anyway. So I want to show you guys this, man. This is gonna get deep here, man. There's a channel. So what I'm going to show you is a guy that went undercover, and he went to find these missing children. Now, what you're going to learn tonight, guys, and what we're going to put on the screen is going to be, it's got a lot to do with politics. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm not here to tell you about any of that. I'm here to talk about missing children. So whatever politics are being discussed, just put it to the side. If you're here and you're tuning in, you're here for the missing children. Now, with all that said, I think the border should be shut in every country. I think people should come here legally, okay? But I don't enforce the law. I don't make the legislation, none of that, okay? It's just my opinion. But what you're going to hear and see tonight, you cannot dismiss truth. This man hunted down missing children. You're going to learn how they get from country to country. You're going to hear interviews of missing children and what happened to them and their friends, sisters, brothers. It's disgusting. Trigger warning. Exit now if you don't want to hear all this. Exit now. And then you're going to hear from a pilot, a driver, a whistleblower who went to Congress to try to stop this because he flew the children. He drove the children. Oh, there's receipts, people. There's receipts. And when you take all this information in tonight, I want you to think of Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. Any other missing children that you have pay attention to. For a long time, for a long time, people have been accusing Don and Candace Wells of foul play in her daughter's disappearance. And I do, if that's how you feel, I don't have any beef with you. I don't have any beef with you. In my view, I think the police are not retarded. I think the FBI are not retarded. I think they do good police work. I think they've bulldozed and went over and back and forth a billion times of Don and Candace. I know they have. In my view, if they clear Don and Candace, the public will be pissed because that's the only thing they can latch on to. But somebody did something with that girl. Somebody took the girl. Who? Hey, man. You're going to see receipts tonight. When you hear the border agent, there's a border patrol agent admitting that the kids are being trafficked. This is one of our border agents admitting to the guy, kids are being trafficked. He says, have you ever seen the movie Sound of Freedom? That shit's real. He doesn't know he's being recorded. People, it's pretty serious, people. So put your politics to the side, man, and just focus on what's happening. But I've been saying for a long time, with Summer at least, you have to go back to the basics. Drugs. What happens with drugs? Drugs, there's organizations behind drugs. This, man, there's a lot of people and kids that just keep up missing. Just keep coming up missing. For the average criminal to do it, they make slip-ups. They fuck up. They get caught. It could be done, don't get me wrong, but this is some organized shit that's happening, people. There's a want and a need for these missing children. There's consumers for the missing children. You know, there's a lot of different there's all types of things that why somebody would want a missing kid. There's many different categories here. It could be organ harvesting. It could be human trafficking. It could be a lot of different things. But you're going to learn about some of them in these clips. It's going to be gross. It's going to be tough to take in. But without further ado, I'm going to play you a couple clips that I've put together in the last week to really, really bring some light on this situation in a whole. Now, what you're going to be watching is these children are of the 300,000+ children that are missing from the border. Our president, Mr. Biden, despite if you love him or despite if you hate him, I'm going to call him our president. Our president doesn't know where those kids are at. And the people who are in charge of the departments that should know the numbers and the answers, they don't know what happened to them. And in these clips I'm about to show you, it's going to explain why they have no accountability or numbers for it. So put your politics to the side. I will for you at least. So do it for me too. This is going to blow your mind. This guy is new on YouTube. He's all over Twitter. And you must give him a follow. You must give him a follow. His name is... Before I do that, really fast, let's watch this. Before I even show you the receipts, let's watch this real fast.
Until you hear this. The Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
Okay. 13,000. Oh, what I did not play is 13,000 convicted of murder, 15,000 convicted of rape. And is this that's not it. That's the one on. So let me go to this post real fast. Here we go. Okay, let's do this first. So the guy's name is Muck Racker. We tracked down some of the 320,000 illegal alien children lost by the Biden-Harris administration. During the course of our investigation, we discovered the federal government is sending children to strangers. A CEI contractor is moving children across America. Children are being sent to labor trafficking rings. Traffickers using deportation as a threat to exact debt payments from sponsored children. Oh, he has receipts, people. He has receipts. I'm just trying to find you the YouTube version of this instead of the Twitter version of it. So just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to do that right now. Where would it be? I'll do it like this real fast. Give me 1 second because I want to watch this with you guys. This is wild, y'all. This is wild. Give me a second. I'll put all your comments on the screen. Here it is right here. Oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. I will drop his, of course, I'll put his link in the chat. Here's your receipts, y'all. This shit gets deep. After this video, I'm going to be playing you something. I'm going to be showing you that pilot and that driver, which is something completely different, right? Here we go, y'all. Trigger warning.
Facility she was detained in at Pomona, California.
Friend.
So the channel name is Muck Racker. Muck Racker. I'm going to put this video link in the chat right now. It'll be in my description box. I've already tagged him in my description box. This is one of the child that he interviewed. People, this is pretty sick. This is all truth. This is 20 minutes. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and get some listening going.
I can't remember her name, but she said she didn't know where she would go.
And MVM is an organization that has moved thousands. You do not work for MVM?
I'm on vacation.
You said that you were on vacation, and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Do you have any comment about the children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country? 2 children were delivered to a sponsor that lives at this address. But as you can see, nobody lives here, and honestly, it doesn't look like anybody's lived here in quite a long time. There's kids in the car here. They're moving these kids. They just turn the lights off.
We owe a debt of $10,000 for me and another $10,000 for my brother.
The van that this van is...
Well, Lisa, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know what happened to him. Her. We don't know.
Now trying to lose us. They're driving through this neighborhood that's headed absolutely nowhere.
Are a lot of the kids coming over here, are they trafficked or like what's the...
Listen, there's the border agent. Look.
She cried because she didn't know what they would do with her.
The kids coming over here, are they trafficked or like what's the? Some are. I'm not gonna lie. Some are.
So he says some are. I'm not going to lie to you, some are. But wait to this is the prequel of the whole video. Wait till you see that whole conversation. Matter of fact, let me fast forward a little bit. On.
Cried because she didn't know what.
Since 2021, an average of 400 unaccompanied
How's the
children
volume, y'all?
are smuggled
in the
into the
chat,
United
good.
States
You
every
you
day.
fix it.
These children who cross into the United States without parents are subsequently detained, processed by the federal government's Unaccompanied Children Program, and eventually released into the country. On August 19, 2024, the Department of Homeland Security announced that they had lost track of over 300,000 of these children. In June of 2024, a government insider from the Department of Health and Human Services provided Muck Racker with a list detailing the names of over 8,000 alien children.
He not only found the missing children, he interviewed them, and he exposed a human trafficking organization right here in Bonita Springs by my house. Oh, I'm going. Oh, we're going. Oh, we're going. But pay attention to this.
Along with their last known addresses. So, we began an operation to find the missing children ourselves. Over the course of our investigation, we discovered the dangerous places where children had been delivered, confronted a CIA contractor who moves these children, heard shocking stories from children who the federal government has lost track of, and exposed a child trafficking network in Florida. This report
20 minutes from my
brings
house,
to
y'all.
light the fate of the forgotten
boys all
children
over it. I'm all
who
over
have
it.
fallen victim to the criminal negligence of the United States federal government. Children who enter the United States illegally and without parents are subsequently detained and placed in holding camps, while the Office of Refugee Resettlement works to find the child a permanent home.
Okay, guys, very important point. While you're watching this, when Donwell says CPS took Summer, it's a blunt statement. The other night on my live, I had Cash, Earn and Family Justice come up here and talk about foster care reform and some of the bills in legislation against tragedy pimps right now. Guys, you don't need me to tell you that in foster care, kids get sexually assaulted 70% of the time. There is migrant children go through something called sponsors. The sponsor is something, I guess, the equivalent, to a foster parent, if you will. Kind of, not really, but I want you to think about the whole system as you watch this. The whole system. Or you can just focus on what's on your screen.
Through their Unaccompanied Children Program. The goal of the Unaccompanied Children Program is to place alien children with vetted sponsors, who are typically family members or close family friends. However, we discovered that while in federal government custody, some children ask to be sent back to their home country, but are instead taken away in the middle of the night and sent to sponsors who they do not know. It is also well documented that this program has placed children in the hands of criminal organizations, such as MS-13, as well as labor and sex trafficking rings. We began our operation by door-knocking the addresses associated with the most vulnerable children on our list, focusing on the youngest, who were the most likely to be victims of trafficking. One of our first finds was an abandoned house where two boys, aged 7 and 10, had allegedly been delivered.
We are at this house here, 321 Broadway in Amityville, New York on Long Island. Allegedly, two children were delivered to a sponsor that lives at this address. But as you can see, nobody lives here. And honestly, it doesn't look like anybody's lived here in quite a long time. So we're not too sure where those two children went. It was two young boys that were sent here. We're not too sure where they are or if they're even still in New York or even in the country anymore.
Our investigation eventually led us to the projects of the Bronx.
That's unreal, y'all. So now they're going to the Bronx. When this investigation starts coming to where people involved in all this are on camera and how secret and weird it gets, it's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. That's when you see the border agent and everything else. But let me keep this thing rolling. I'm not talking too much.
Where we found a girl who told us a horror story from inside the facility she was detained in at Pomona, California.
How many days were you in Pomona, California?
I was there for 35 days.
35? Did you ever hear anyone say they didn't know where they were going?
Well, I remember 2 kids. One said she didn't know where she was going, and the other said she didn't know what would happen. And then, 2 days before I came here, one night before, she cried because she didn't know what they would do with her. We went to sleep, and in the morning, when I got up, she was gone. They had taken her away, and she wanted to say goodbye, but they wouldn't let her.
They wouldn't let her?
No, I don't know what happened.
Because they get them up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And they said,
They do not allow it,
pick up everything you're leaving?
and they take them away. It gives me the creeps.
Where was your friend from?
One was from Honduras, and the other was from Guatemala.
These are literally missing children, y'all. He's interviewing. It happens again later on in the show, but listen to their stories, man. Listen to their stories. This is. I don't know if it's now or later where this little girl is talking about the men that's around her, and oh, it's so, man, your blood should boil if you're watching this whole thing in thorough.
Well, she was a good friend of mine before that. She always cried and told me her sorrows, and she told me to give her my Facebook. I always waited for her to send me a message, and I never got anything from her.
And how old was she, if you remember?
16. She was 16.
Did you ever hear others say they had asked to be sent back and they wouldn't let them?
Yeah, I heard that.
The federal government uses contractors to move children from detention centers, like the one this girl was held at, into the hands of their sponsors. One of these contractors is MVM, a private security contractor with
MVM is shit, and here's the airport. Very interesting. People, we're paying for all this. So as you're picking this up, as you're learning all this, if you're in the United States, we are literally paying for all this. Paying for all this.
ties to the CIA, NSA, FBI, and Homeland Security. Over the past few years, MVM has secured contracts worth tens of millions of dollars to escort detained alien children into the hands of their sponsors. We flew to McAllen, Texas, a major hub where detained alien children are located, and were able to track down MVM contractors as they were moving children.
Excuse me, is this MVM? No. We have footage here that a lot of these children don't know the sponsors that they are going to. What's going on? There's kids in the car here. They're moving these kids. They just turned the lights off. This is the MVM headquarters that we are currently at. There are kids in this van right here that they are moving. There's somebody that's going to come out. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, are you a manager here? Hey, we've spoken to some of these children, and they tell us that they don't know a lot of times the sponsors that they're going to. Do you have any comment on that at all?
No, I don't.
This is MVM, correct?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Excuse me. What's going on here?
Look at this. Watch this. It peels off on him. Watch this. Watch this.
There they go. And notice they left.
Look.
They got out of here in such a hurry that they just left their bags here. Think about that. They got out of here. We don't even know what's in those bags.
They don't want to answer a question so bad they're just leaving shit, people. This guy is a beast, y'all. You need to give him a follow. His name is Muck Racker. Here's the channel right here, Muck Racker. I'm going to keep dropping it on the 700th like on this video. I'm going to keep dropping this link. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube. He's unfolded a lot of shit. Anybody looking out, finding, interviewing missing children, peeling the banana back on human trafficking organizations and rings, they're doing the Lord's work, y'all. They're doing the Lord's work.
They just left them there, and they took off in the van in such a hurry because that's how secret this operation is. They do not want you to know what is going on. That van that we just confronted, they are now taking off. We are following them. We believe that they're taking these kids to the airport. We have talked to some of these children that you guys escort, and some of these children have told us that their friends don't know the sponsors that they're going to. Are you okay with that? Excuse me, why are you all wearing masks? Do you have any comment on that? Why are you hiding your identity? Do you have any shame, sir?
Do you have any shame?
There's still
Oh,
time
yeah.
to redeem yourself. Would you like to see the footage that we caught of the running? What's going on?
Very scary. Troll investigates.
Were their IDs even checked just there? Were their IDs even just checked? Who checked their IDs? I didn't see any ID check just there.
So he calls it out. He's like, "What? Did you even check the IDs?" That was smart thinking. This guy says no. Have a listen. This is where the conversation is too.
There was no ID check. Right. Why weren't their IDs checked? If I was going to go here, I can't talk to you about that. I'm going to ask you, why do you guys ID American citizens when there's children going to be as an ID number? I'm not going to say anything on camera.
Are a lot of the kids coming over there, are they trafficked or like what's the?
Some are. I'm not gonna lie. Some are.
Does that happen a lot that the kids come over here with a totally fake name?
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way for us to verify.
Bro, how the fuck do we have a border agent McAllen International Airport? How the fuck do we have a border agent telling this guy, yeah, some are, yeah. That's crazy as fuck to me, people. That blows my mind, man. They just scoot right by. No ID check. No, I'm gonna rewind that.
Why do you guys ID American citizens when there's children going to be as an ID number?
I'm not gonna say anything on camera.
Are a lot of the kids coming over there, are they trafficked or like what's the?
Some are. I'm not gonna lie.
That's so.
Does that happen a lot that the kids come over here with a totally fake name?
It has.
Yeah.
Watch what he says
no
now.
way for us to verify.
Listen.
And so they come over here with a fake name and then they just come up with one. They just get a brand new identity. They could be anybody.
Have you seen the movie?
Sound of Freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Shit happens.
He said that shit happens. If you remember Sound of Freedom, in the beginning, where they're tricking parents about the kids going for a modeling gig, and then the kids go over here. They tell the parents go over here a little bit. They trick the kids at going on this modeling gig, and they open the door of the back studio, and they have a van backed up, and the kids hop in the van. The van peels off. That's I don't have any words.
You guys get the kids coming over here with the notes that are attached to them with the addresses, right? And a lot of times that just lead to like a sex trafficker or something, right? That's legit.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we can't tell.
What's the issue though? Why can't you guys talk on camera?
It's the policies that we have, things that we can and can't say.
But why don't they want you talking on camera? Politics. What, like making the administration look bad? Or
yeah.
Damn.
Honestly, bro, I really wish it was more people like you.
Yeah.
Exposing this shit.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It truly is a horrible thing.
So just so you understand what this man just said, he's like, why can't you talk on camera? And he said politics. And he's like, so, and the interviewer goes, so because you don't want to say anything negative on Biden and Harris. He's like, yeah. And then the border agent goes, I wish there was more people exposing this because it's a horrible thing. That is insanity, man. That is literally, so he's instructed not to say anything. Just do your job, shut up, and don't you answer any questions about anyone looking for answers on this human trafficking and missing children situation.
Yeah.
It is a horrible thing. But me, I can't do that.
You could blow the whistle on it.
No, I can't.
You could, but you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, exactly.
You work for MVM, and MVM is an organization.
Shenanigans, people.
You do not work for MVM?
Shenanigans.
We've now landed in Houston, and it appears as if MVM has requested a police escort because they don't want media exposing what they're doing. But if you look,
that, Candace.
They have all of the kids wearing masks, and they have them keeping their head down.
Look at the shit, people.
All of the kids wearing masks, keeping their head down. They're telling them to hide their face. Many of these kids go missing. You said that you were on vacation, and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country?
As we worked our way through the list provided to us by the government insider, we encountered sponsors who, for various reasons, no longer had the child. Some told us that they had given the child to somebody else. Others said that the child had returned to their home country. One such case involved a 14-year-old girl named Linda, who had been placed with an unrelated sponsor in Nashville, Tennessee. When we knocked on her sponsor's door, we were told that she had since moved to Louisiana. We were eventually able to track her down and found her living in a rundown neighborhood on the outskirts of New Orleans.
Yes, the Nana.
When you were in
Absolutely.
the shelter in Pomona, California,
All right, here's the 14-year-old girl he's tracked down, y'all.
did you at any point hear other kids say that they didn't know where they were going to? Yeah? And that they didn't know who they were going to live with?
Yes.
Yes? Did you hear that
Obviously,
many
he altered her
times?
voice.
Yes. I've even had a little friend. I can't remember her name, but she said she didn't know where she would go.
How old was she?
Same age as me, 13.
This was something you saw happening not only with your friend, but many other children as well, right?
Yes,
And did you at any point want to go away?
I did.
And was it because you didn't like where you were?
It was because of my aunt's character, my sponsor's character. She was like, if you don't pay me for this, you're not going to get that. If you don't buy your food, you're not going to eat, and so on.
Can you elaborate a bit more about how she ran you off? Where did you go?
Well, I slept in the street. I slept in the street in the cold weather. Then I talked to a friend. I had to stay in his car with a bedsheet bearing the cold. I couldn't eat. I had no money to eat.
Do you feel you were forced to work by your aunt?
Yes. She would tell me that if I didn't have money for rent, that she would kick me out. That's when she talked to the lady who raised me, my mom. And she started telling her that she was going to take me out to the street. That if I didn't give her what she wanted, we were going to be in trouble. And to this day, she's still charging me $4,000 for my trip from Honduras.
Pearl Bubbles, absolutely. Great comment. You're
When I was in
100%
school,
correct.
one of the reasons why I dropped out was because she was harassing me. She kept blackmailing me, saying that if I didn't go back to live with her, that I was never going to see my mother again.
Before we visited you, did anyone from the government ever contact you from the shelter? Did they ever visit you?
No, never, so far. I rather think that if they would have tried to contact me when I had no place to sleep, I would have gone.
You mentioned on the phone that you did see many things on the way up here.
Yes.
Did that involve girls about your age?
Disgusting.
Yes, and they raped her.
Disgusting.
When I was leaving, when I was coming to Monterey,
We're paying for this.
they took us off the bus. It was like a truck,
We're paying for this.
and they counted us all. I was on this side, and those two girls were here. A woman grabbed them and said she was going to take them to a whorehouse.
Jesus Christ.
And at that moment, a middle-aged man said, "No, I'll play with them first." He took them into the car, and we could only hear how the girls cried.
How old, if you could remember, more or less, how old did they look? About your age?
Yes, they were about the same age. One was 13 and the other 14.
Why doesn't she?
The drivers who were driving were killed.
Did the drivers
14
get
years
shot?
old, people.
Here. First, they hit them on the head with boards, and then later, when they were all beaten and their faces were covered in blood, they were shot here.
Wow.
The three states which have received the most alien children since 2021 are Texas, California, and Florida.
Damaged goods.
So,
Noel,
yeah.
I need your full attention right now.
Okay.
Please look at the screen.
I see myself. And to the right, I see.
This is gonna make you mad, but I want to go very soon. Look at the screen.
I'm looking. But where is it?
With each state taking in over 10,000 per year. We were tipped off by a government insider about a suspected human trafficking case in Florida. We learned that 2 Guatemalan illegal aliens named Baltazar and Juana had requested to sponsor 13 children across.
Somebody get those addresses for me. Bonita Springs, that's 20 minutes away. Y'all do me a favor, guys. And I need a huge favor. I need you guys to do some research and find this for me. This is 20 minutes away from me, maybe 30 minutes away. I want to go. I want to ask the neighbors about this. I want to do what I can to do our part. Me and wifey. This is disgusting.
Across 5 different addresses in Bonita Springs, Florida. Even more concerning was that these same addresses were also being used by other illegal aliens who were attempting to sponsor children. At one particular house, 4 different adults were sponsoring at least 13 children. We were told that this case had been referred to the FBI, HSI, and HHS, but after sitting on the case for months, nothing was done about it. We were able to track down a brother and sister from Guatemala who had been delivered to the trafficking ring a few years prior. They claimed that a trafficking debt has been held over their head for years and explained the details of a labor trafficking system that targets children.
Could you please tell us your name and whether or not you have any debts?
My name is and we came here with a how do you say, we have a debt of 10,000 in my name and 10,000 in my brother's name to Mrs. Juana, and this lady demands a lot from us. Baltazar and Juana take in a lot of children here and put them to work. Sometimes they take them in one by one.
Guys, this is literally happening 30 minutes from my house. I don't understand it. And this is not even half of what I'm going to show you tonight. This should infuriate everybody. So me and Damaged Goods will go here. That's a promise. That's the channel promise. But what infuriates me is what you're going to learn tonight. We're paying for this. And what also infuriates me is a lot of things. They're telling us what they're going to do, people. They're telling us about this great replacement theory. They're telling us about things. They've been lying. They're hurting children, people, and we're paying for it. We're paying for it. The border is wide open. In the UK recently, people snapped because you had an influx of these migrants going to this city, and there was little girls getting raped. It's a culture blast. And people started snapping and tearing shit up. And the problem is they start calling these people racists. No. That's called heroes. Any man sticking up for a little girl getting raped, he's not far right. He's not racist. That's why I said leave politics to the side tonight. It's all fuck shit, people. It's all bullshit.
You said supporting it?
What?
Like they support, they're like, yeah, let's fucking do this kind of shit.
Who?
Come on, man. They're like cheering it on and shit, like pro that fuck shit.
No, the men got fed up because they're little in their community. There's women being raped by these migrants who were put there by the government in the UK, and the men had enough of it and said, "Hey, get the fuck out of here."
Good.
And they started tearing shit up, and it was all over the news and the UK riots, and they started blaming the men far right racist, and that's not at all what happened. And then they went to Twitter and they started trying to make all the censorship. It's clear as day what they're doing, people. There's a YouTuber, he's covered what's happening in Springfield after Trump said they're eating the dogs and the cats. The same things are happening. They're bringing all these migrants in by these plane trips, by these vans, by these buses, and they're putting them in little communities. And like everybody's been saying, I've been putting the comments on the screen. It's huge money. It's huge money in this. But at the end of the day, the government's doing it. We're paying for it. NGOs and other corporate entities are getting paid off of it. Children are getting hurt, and then people are getting replaced. They're doing it in these small towns, Springfield, Ohio, a town in Pennsylvania I've never even heard of. And the migrants are starting to overtake the population. I'm all for anybody coming here to better their life. You got to do it the right way, though. Some of these people, it's disgusting, people. But let's focus on missing children for right now. Let's focus on missing children, and let's get through this, because the next clip is going to blow your fucking socks off. Even worse than this one does.
One. And these children come to their house and they say to them, tomorrow. What I mean is that they find a job for each one. Baltazar finds them a job. He contacts a company. Then he tells them, you will start working tomorrow. There are others to whom he says they have to find their own jobs. Because sometimes Baltazar can't find work for these children. And he tells them to wait at the stop for someone to pick them up for work.
What's up, Brian and Shine?
What is the youngest child you have ever seen? What is the youngest? 5 years old, 10 years old? How old? What is the youngest child you've ever seen with Baltazar?
5 years old. I lived with them for a couple of months, but I left because I didn't like
talking
it.
about-
Because they were always drinking.
Well, she's talking about the
So the people in charge of the 5-year-olds drank a lot?
5-year-old little girl.
Yes, they drank.
And the men who lived in the house, who were they? Baltazar's friends?
Yes, Baltazar's friends.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't live in rooms, but imagine this house, and someone says there's a room to rent here. They put the person in the living room,
We need to go in
and
there
that's
and ask
it.
questions with the neighbors.
There are beds here, beds there, beds everywhere.
And when Juana threatened you, did she find you, call you, or how did she do it?
I'm way behind on the comments, guys. I'm sorry.
Yes, she found me because she got angry when I left. She got angry when I left, so she asked me for money.
And is this lady threatening you?
Yes.
Okay.
They threaten them with deportation.
And what kind of threats does she make?
She threatens, as I told you, mentioning a judge, that she's going to take something from us, that she's going to deport us.
The disastrous border policies of the Biden-Harris administration are only one dimension of the U.S.
Yes, we
federal
do have to
government's
stand up for
complicity
children.
in the mass trafficking of children.
It's our
The
future.
entire migration pipeline, from South America up to the U.S. southern border,
That's your secret.
is controlled by networks of human traffickers who funnel tens of thousands of alien children into the United States every year. For many alien children, crossing the U.S. southern border is only the beginning of their problems. What you have seen here is a mere glimpse into the ever-growing child trafficking industry in the United States. During our 3-month investigation, we encountered numerous children who found themselves in dangerous and desperate situations after passing through the federal government's unaccompanied children program. One such child was this 15-year-old girl named Pamela,
It's tough
who
to
found
watch.
herself homeless in Nashville after her sponsor threw her out.
So this is the end of this clip. I'm gonna go to another clip on a different platform, and we're gonna hear testimony from a whistleblower who actually flew these kids and drove these kids around. But before we do that, I want you to hear this testimony from this missing child who's now homeless because the sponsor threw her out. The sponsor is what me and Noelle are gonna go look at in Bonita Springs. I definitely have to check that out. But let's hear this.
When we found her, she showed signs of self-mutilation. Under the Biden-Harris administration, federal agencies and NGOs have been granted hundreds of millions of dollars to place vulnerable children in the hands of domestic trafficking networks. The only way to end this crisis is to immediately secure the U.S. southern border. The need for action has never been greater. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support our operation, you can
listen to the last thing this man says. It's so true. Listen.
Make a one-time contribution at muckracker.com/donate, or you can buy merchandise at shop.muckracker.com. If you're unable to do that, you can support our operation by sharing the information that we publish. And if you don't want to do that, all I ask is that you have the courage to stand up and speak the truth. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Thank you very much.
It's very true. It's very true. And a lot of people are scared to talk about these topics. Y'all, I don't understand why. I don't care if you support President Biden. I don't care. We're talking about missing children right now. And if Biden is responsible for hurting them, then he has to, people need people. This is way bigger than Biden and Trump. It's way bigger than that. People are getting paid off this. It's out of control. Now, the next clip I'm going to show you, you know who that guy looks like now. I'm going to show you another clip, okay? The next platform and show that I'm going to show is going to be a little bit, people might not like it because it happens to be on the Alex Jones show. The problem is, I'm not telling you or showing you anything Alex Jones is saying. That man was a guest on Alex Jones, as well as the whistleblower who actually flew these kids around and drove these kids around. So that's going to be the next clip we're going to watch. Okay, so let me go there next. This is going to be over on Gettr. I'm over on Gettr. It's at White Boy Radio. I'm everywhere, man, but at White Boy Radio.
Absolutely are everywhere.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened here? Did I not do it right? Okay, let me do it like this. Present, share. Here we go. Hold on, guys. All right, here we go. So now I gotta go back to my notes here. I've never shared a screen over here, so let me make sure it looks good. Really fast. What's my notes say?
These kids,
2 minutes and 11
all
seconds.
of them told stories about how they had little friends that they lost touch with. They never heard from again.
It's Trump's fault they want him put in jail. And Ohio's passed the law. They're going to try to indict Trump and J.D. Vance.
Yeah, and well, this is the thing, right? So Trump
I got the volume right now,
be
guys.
eating cats and dogs and geese and whatever else in Springfield, but you could have these
Okay,
labor
coming in
trafficking
pretty
rings,
good.
sex
Cool.
trafficking rings opening across the country.
So you notice that's him from the last clip.
There's other stuff in the report that I'd like to highlight because
You got the floor, yeah.
so
There's just so many clips. Wherever you want to go.
yeah, if the crew has any time to chop this up and we could play some of these, that'd be great. But there's
You got to do it before. It's like, or you guys could go in the control room and do it.
in this facility that they were at in California were put on pills. Maybe Carlos, you could speak more to that. You have these young girls and boys in this.
Yeah, the best thing is let's just not worry about the clips. People want to go see it. It's at Muck Racker. It exists. Like, no more video. We'll just the best way to do it is not just obsess over.
On the left is the guy we just watched. There you have Alex Jones, and on the right you have this whistleblower.
And we can add all this in post to it. It'll still be important. We want to save the kids. You guys have done such amazing work. So muckracker.com, Real Muck Racker on X, and Real Muck Racker on YouTube. It's just such important work. And of course, Carlos, your great site. People can find it there as well. InformantCarlos.com. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, Carlos, you were the one doing a lot of the speaking in Spanish. So maybe you could talk about how she was talking about how the kids are on pills in these facilities, how they're taken away at 3 a.m. and sent to places that they don't know. They're not allowed to say goodbye. And they're crying.
Insanity.
They're going to be sent to a stranger, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I've done countless of interviews about my time moving these kids, and InfoWars has been the one place where they've never tried to censor me on what I used to do. And one of the things that I used to do was I used to move kids in the middle of the night in private airfields, private charter planes. And for the longest time, I've been getting told by multiple outlets, don't speak on that because that's QAnon, that's crazy, that's a conspiracy theory. We don't want to go down that route.
Okay, hold on.
But
Let me
when
stop.
we went out on the
Because I know it's getting a little confusing. So InfoWars is not on YouTube. This is on Gettr. You have to type in, it's a platform called Gettr. I will drop the link in the chat in a minute for you. And this is a couple days ago, okay? What we have now is the Muck Racker guy and Carlos. This guy's a whistleblower. He went in front of Congress and said what he was doing as far as moving these kids with these NGOs and whatever. So I want everybody to stay on track. $20 from Trish. Thank you for having the balls to cover this. I'm not going to stop, Trish. Just so you know, I'm going to go to that Bonita Springs house. I'm telling you, there's two sponsors that are getting investigated by the FBI for these children. One kid is telling their testimony. I'm definitely going to go there. And if I don't do anything, at least what I will do is tell every goddamn neighbor around that neighborhood what those people are under investigation for and what they're doing. That is awareness. That needs to be said, because all those people are going to start having eyeballs for little children. And that's what needs to be done. You cannot argue receipts. You cannot argue receipts. And this is much bigger than Biden versus Trump. Please leave that to the side. I know people don't like Alex Jones. If you want the blunt, honest truth, Alex Jones does a lot for children. He fucked himself with the Sandy Hook thing. He shouldn't have doubled down. He shouldn't have did it. The guy apologized, but it is a family with many victims. I understand it. I get all sides. But what I'm saying is, with this social media, you see the guy at the airport. These people don't want to talk to him. If we have time, I'll play you another video from Muck Racker where these people are paid not to say nothing. So if they don't say nothing, on top of that, Project Veritas went and peeled the banana back on these groups as well. And these people are paid not to say anything. And when you post this stuff to social media, it's censored. So they have to go to InfoWars or someone like that to get the word out. And then it's very important to share it. And that's all I'm doing. It's not my content. It's not me doing anything. But after I learn it, I will share it with my audience, and I will pick up, because I found out there's something crazy local to me that I should be doing, because this is also my community. And that's important. Everybody should think like that, in my view.
This trip, we had countless of kids, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds tell us that, oh, they woke us up at 3 a.m.
Didn't know that, Angel.
And they took us to a private airfield where the entire plane was full of kids.
Very true, Rapunzel. Let me share you the link to this.
Over again. Did you see other adults on this plane, or were all the seats just children? And they would say the entire plane, every single seat was a child on it. And then they spoke on how they would land
in live in the chat now.
Get on charter buses. And then when their sponsor finally picked them up, they picked them up at a park, at a public park in the middle of the night. And I would get confirmation from the sponsor as well. What time did you pick your child up? Did you pick them up at the airport or at the park? And they confirmed that as well. It was at 3 a.m. in the park. And these kids, all of them told stories about how they had little friends that
Kayla, it's going down. You can believe that.
Heard from again. And these friends promised them that they were going to add them on Facebook, that they were going to reach out to them when they got to their state that they were designated to go to. And a lot of these little girls were worried about friends they never heard from again. And then we've even had one specific situation in Florida where we were told Homeland Security showed up to these addresses and they did nothing. Their excuse was, oh, we couldn't find the children. And this is Homeland Security we're talking about, the federal government.
So I need to get a hold of this guy. I don't know who Carlos is, but the other channel that I linked in the description that told us about Bonita Springs, I will absolutely call my rep every single day until, even DeSantis' office. I don't understand how this is even happening here in Florida. It's very confusing because Florida does not play on this type of stuff. This stuff is happening you have to understand, they were flying migrants in. People, you don't even know this, but in Jacksonville, there was a woman who was raped and killed from a migrant that came in on one of these air flights that's all low key. Now, DeSantis found out about this and he said, oh, hell to the no. Hell to the no. And he made a law that, I don't know what it's called, they can't use these third-party airlines. He tried to stop it as much as he could. And DeSantis is against all of this. And I'm proud that he is. I'm very proud that he is. But They're doing this shit very slick and sly. But what he's saying, this is very confusing to me as a Floridian.
Saying they can't find the kids, but two guys with very limited resources were able to find the kids in one day. We found them in one day. So
let me back up what you're saying. I've been to the border. Our crew has. We've shown as soon as Biden got in, the planes loads full of kids. It was going on under Obama the last few years, but then it stopped under
Is the volume okay, guys?
And then we would talk about it 3.5 years ago. People said, oh, it's a conspiracy theory in the New York Times. And then we had footage of the kids getting on the plane, some of them babies being carried on, them handing the babies over, no paperwork. And then the media would say it doesn't exist. Finally, it's broken out the last few years. But as you said, they then go, oh, no, that's crazy. You've been to the Walmarts where they stack the kids. You've been on the airplane shipping them around. Later in the last couple of years, they've admitted, secret nighttime flights. And finally, media in New Jersey and New York and Minnesota and Tennessee and Florida caught it. And
I agree. I agree.
Made a big deal about it. Started, pointing it out. But notice the first few years, they would just deny it was going on so that no one would ever be able to say, hey, that's wrong.
I agree with
shipping kids around at night, giving them to God knows who. So what we'll do is we'll take this interview today, because I'm going to do it myself if I need to. And we will take everything you say with your clips. In fact, I'll do it. I'll put it together. And we'll then show the airplanes. We'll show the kids. We'll show your footage. We'll show mine, so we can actually show this to people.
Guys, I played for you a separate and entirely different clip from Fox, giving you the stats that 13,000 convicted killers have came over. Convicted killers have came over the border. 15,000 convicted rapists have came over the border. And I know you've seen the videos about what's going on in Aurora, where they're taking over the apartment complexes. I know that you have seen the talk about Chicago gangs going to war with the Venezuelan gangs. Alex Jones right now is showing you tattoos of some of the migrants, gang related, that have came over here. People, this is not good. This is not good. Earlier in the show, I said, when I was talking about Summer Wells, I said somebody could have taken her, but most likely they would get caught, make a mistake, because it's this one criminal doing this one act by himself. And trust me, I've been to prison. I know how gangs work. These are organizations. So that one guy trying to do something by himself, he's probably going to fail, because it's just him doing the thinking. Now, when a gang uses somebody in the organization to do something, they've collectively thought about it. They collectively have thought about it, and that's why there's less mistakes made. If that makes any sense to anybody.
Because that's what's so insane about this. I mean, this is going on. It's admitted now. The Senate report, 325,000 kids missing, many in sex slavery, many in industrial slavery. The New York Times admits that, while they try to cover up the rest of it. I mean, this is, so the reason the feds won't respond is they're the ones that complete the smuggling process, so the other agencies aren't supposed to expose it. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. And that's why they move these kids at 3 a.m. And that's what was confirmed to us, that they are moved at 3 a.m, that they're put on a private charter plane, like Carlos just said, and then they're dropped off in the middle of a field. They have the sponsors come and meet them in the middle of some field somewhere.
And by the way, it came out in the last few years. It shows the planes, and reporters show the kids coming off in the field and being put in vans.
Right.
We'll add that in post too.
Right. And
we're live right now, but I'm going to put all this everywhere where you can see everything they're talking about. Everything you say, they sent to us. We've got it all. Go ahead.
So that is, that's the situation. And so, I mean, Carlos, you've told me so many stories when you were on the inside, about what you saw. I think that people need to hear that one more time, because it's just so powerful.
Yeah, you've got the floor now when we come back, because you're an eyewitness. You've testified to Congress, legislatures. I mean, you worked there for decades.
Yeah,
and you said you saw it change and get from good to bad.
From good to bad, yes. There was times where I wouldn't even get called for work during the Trump administration, and then the Biden administration came into place, and we were getting called every single day. I was flying 9 to 12 different planes a week, and you would arrive at certain camps and you were told.
I appreciate this guy telling the truth and all, but how the fuck is he not in prison for flying children around the country involved in missing children and human trafficking. I don't understand it. I appreciate his testimony and all this awareness. Maybe I'm missing something, but anyway.
Well, the kids in this camp are suicidal. They're cutting themselves. The kids in this camp are pregnant teenagers. Excuse me. And in 2021, when the Biden administration was
he's excellent, Tracy.
You would just hear the craziest stories. You would hear, all right, you guys are not flying today. You guys, your job is to get in vans and drive these teenage girls to an abortion clinic to get an abortion done in California.
Wow.
And that's another one that people don't really know about. And it's just countless of things that you
guys, if you're in the chat, do me a favor.
Remember when you see these kids again.
I'm dropping the link
in California. That was a big one. And
live. That's on the
I know it doesn't surprise people that it's in California, but a lot of the people who would get on the airplanes with these kids, their job was to drive these girls to an abortion clinic and get the baby killed. And
your internet, your
the
web
other
history.
Concerning part about the California
or
kids is that
copy and paste.
These California camps were erasing pregnant girls from the records at these camps.
You guys watch on the replay. It'll be in my description box.
We were going on our trip. We were finding a lot of these girls that were saying, "Yeah, I was pregnant while I was in California, and this is the baby." And it's why were you trying to hide that pregnant girls were ever at your camp? You know, what's the story there? Why?
Where are the kids going? Where are the babies going?
Yeah.
This is a massive illegal industry. We're going to go to break. During the break, I'm going to go in there because you can pull this up. We can search engine. We even shot it ourselves. You can pull up secret nighttime flights of children, of migrants. And you can get the footage from New Jersey, everywhere we can show that to TV viewers. So people see this, listening or watching, can actually see that while they're saying this. This is on record. And then this has come out for years now, but it doesn't ever get the attention. Hell, it doesn't even get attention around here because we get punch drunk, we get conditioned, we get our will broken.
All right, I got it on mute for the just for a minute because they're gonna go on in a commercial break. So we don't want to hear all that crap. But yeah. So let me just make sure of that. Hold on.
Attacking humanity. Yes, our program's come to an end. The grid.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep it on mute, guys. Here's the thing with Alex Jones, or it's not Alex Jones, with Gettr, it's kind of hard for me to skip through or fast forward it. So we're just gonna let it play in the background on mute, and that's how that's gonna go. All right. So what's going on with the comments right here? And that's the only ones they know of. Guys, I actually have another clip after this if we have enough time. It's crazy. Yes, get the judges. This is crazy, man. This is everything that we're watching, and this whole stream is about migrant missing children. But what's crazy is I remember like about a year ago, I was saying there's 80,000 missing children coming over from the border. Guys, it's over 300,000 kids now. That's not an accident. That's not an accident. There's a wanton need for these kids. So when I asked you earlier to think about Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells, instead of saying, right,
at the most affordable prices where I got the biggest crowds in. So you had a great experience. You want to come back 100 times and I make money and I'm successful. You have a great time. You get treated right. I get treated right.
So instead of saying, oh, I think it was Don and Candace and Don and you could think like that again. I'm not telling you what to think, but at the end of the day, you're not a police officer. You don't have any investigative skills. Me either. Nor should somebody like me or you pretend to have more sense than the TBI. These people are looking in on the case. If they are not finding any foul play, we cannot just create foul play for Don and Candace. We have to start thinking about the entire picture. And believe me, here on YouTube, people have covered the entire picture. Every neighbor, every this, every that, every this, every that. But if we're still coming up empty-handed, we start thinking about deeper things. It's hard to think about these things. It's not easy to think. You know what is easy? For me to crank up a live and say, you know what Don told me one time on the phone? I don't have any receipts on this, but here's what he told me. and I stretched that out for fucking 16 months. It's hard to use your brain. It's hard to go to these places. Man, they're criminal organizations are criminal organizations for a reason. You can't, they're not coming on no panels. You're not breaking those people.
Do a consultation and get into silver. Support our.
These were you in Pomona, California.
So here's them playing that video. Hold on.
And oh, man, that footage is crazy right there.
What about
so there's another video that that Muck Racker goes into about the Catholic charities and these foster. Oh, I'll play it after this, guys. It's disgusting. The amount of reports from these children saying that they were having sexual attacks on them by staff, by elderly. Oh my God. And our government, and there's these big lawsuits. We keep funding these people. You would think, whoa.
Trump got money for DNA testing, rapid testing, see if somebody was related.
So let's get back to
and
this.
then I learned this year they said they were killing it.
Oh, I have it.
But
What
now
is
they have
this?
whistleblowers a few
So
months
we're
ago
at
in Congress that
2:30. This is 2:30. Let me jump out real fast. So 2:39 is going to be our no. This is the one we need. So 2:39 is going to be. Are we on Gettr, guys?
Got in, even though the money was earmarked. They killed the DNA testing to aid the
239.
smugglers in getting through with kidnapped kids. I mean, it's not like the feds are letting this happen; they're aiding it. Sorry, go ahead.
It's
here.
Sent to a labor trafficking ring. If you guys want to roll the last clip that I gave you of the labor trafficking ring in Florida, where it was this network of houses where they sent all these kids to, and it was run by 2 Guatemalan illegal aliens.
I want to play that in a moment, but first, why do you think the New York Times did a couple articles last year admitting, okay, a lot of these kids are in slave labor, sleeping on the floor as young as 12, working at factories, and they're falling into machines, tire making machines, cereal boxing machines? Was that just covering their bases? Because they try to cover this up with all their other articles, but then separately they're like, okay, this is going on.
Yeah, well, that was Hannah Dreyer, right? And she did a great report there. And I mean, Carlos, you know her, right? So I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah, so
thank you, Mr. Prophet. I
from what
appreciate it.
understand from her, she thinks the program does some good. She thinks that the program should exist.
I apologize. I'm
even
sure
if it
Wifey has caught this, but this is really aggravates me. Come on, StreamYards. So yes, I gifted 5 memberships. That's whatever. Okay. Queen of Cyan 199 super sticker. Thank you very much. Nora Woods, 7 months in the house. Is Nora still in here? Did she leave us? Fuck. 7 months. Hello, Matt and chat. Happy Saturday. And then I got Trish. I remember getting Trish. And then I got Miss Prophet as well. I do not like missing somebody if they donate. It really it aggravates the shit out of me. Let's get back to this.
Means, some kids being put up in risk of trafficking. She believes that it's still doing some good, and she is I don't understand her.
Well, the end justifies the means. I had the head of the Texas Health Department once on the hike and bike trail. He says, by the way, I'm the head of the health department. He didn't know I Googled his name and found it really was him.
Excellent comment.
We know that actually kill a bunch of people, but it helps more than it hurts, which is.
Let's see. Says the kids were between maybe 5 and 10. The streamers called the cops and interviewed. Oh, I know, and intervened because of the seatbelts. But the NGO people were there. They were definitely something wrong with. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about those YouTubers that went and tracked down the children and called the police, and the police came and did nothing and told them because they are migrants and this and that, they cannot do anything to the people. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's sick. It is absolutely sick. Check your Cash App. Nikita says, I will right now. Cash, what's happening, Cash? This is excellent stuff right here. All right, so guys, we're going to listen to a few more of this, and we're going to go to 59.
But that's the attitude. Well, some get enslaved and killed, but it's
I got
for
one
the better
more.
good. They're coming from a bad place, so
piece for
we're
you
going to do
guys.
this. No. They're bringing in a permanent underclass they control.
Right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and it's still happening. I forget where it was, but apparently the city of Chicago right now is under investigation because they're sending kids out to Michigan to work at a factory.
Thank you, Nikita.
And that's under
I appreciate
investigation
that.
right now.
$25. I
The
appreciate
current
it
mayor in
very
Chicago,
much so.
Mayor Brad Johnson, I believe. He's being accused of sending illegals out to work, illegals who are underage, and it just doesn't stop.
Selena
And
Morgan
it's a
also
form of
spent
cheap
$20
labor,
to
and it's
cover
going to keep
fitness
happening.
Slavery.
And it doesn't matter. They don't care if the kids
That
die.
is
They say,
weird.
well,
Also,
there's more
Selena
kids coming
Morgan
in
has
the
said-
following month. And they're going to keep coming. And the last hearing in the Senate, the Democrats in the Senate, they're trying to make it to where it's a lot faster from the moment the kids get to the border. They're trying to bypass the Walmarts. So they want to get rid of the Walmarts and send them directly from the border straight to wherever they're being trafficked to. So they want to bypass these kids meeting someone like me who's trying to do the good thing, the right thing. They want to bypass.
Very quickly, Nikita says, send $25 for thank you for White Boy Noel. And then I had a very weird Cash App. I've never had to accept something before, but I'm going to say Mrs. Morgan, what Selena says, she sends $20. I really appreciate that. Guys, this is missing children. This is just stuff that has to be said. This is nothing that, this is other people's content that I don't have no problem showing this to you guys. If I got to lose people because it's very political, well, where that means that your morals aren't in the right spot. I said before all this, leave the politics over there. They are bashing on Biden this entire thing, but for Christ's sakes, the man has the border wide open, and this is in direct result of it, people. So I mean, I'm sorry if you don't like it.
Any chance of trafficking being uncovered, and sending them straight to a sponsor who's supposedly a family member. So that's what the current Senate Democrats are fighting for right now. They're trying to do away with the shelters and just make it really faster, like an assembly line.
And Carlos, you worked there decades and saw a program.
No problem, real team.
Checking the parents and making sure and going, and then you just saw it get bad under Obama, better under Trump, basically go away and then get even. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I've talked to you a lot, but I mean, in your own words, this is really important. People understand you're a famous whistleblower. People that don't know who you are.
Well, what it is it just got out of hand during the COVID era. A lot of the football stadiums, soccer stadiums that shut down, the Biden administration opened them back up to put children inside of these places.
While we're all locked up, they're escalating human trafficking.
They were escalating it. And there's reports. You can go on Google and look up Greg Abbott shows up to the convention stadium in San Antonio, Texas, and shuts it down in 2020-21 because there was reports of some of these kids running away with the workers. So people who were supposed to be taking care of these children were running away with them and getting romantically involved with them.
Total lawlessness.
Weird.
Yeah, and these kids at these shelters, a lot of them ran away. There was a lot of reports of them running away from the shelter in San Antonio, and it just got out of hand. The amount of kids that showed up, a lot of people think that this past year has been the worst for illegal immigration, and it has been. But a lot of people forget that in 2021, Petco Stadium, a lot of the stadiums from California, Arizona, military bases for the
high schools.
Yeah, high schools.
Remember in Chicago, places they were kicking all the kids out of the football. You couldn't the gyms, the football stadiums, the band areas were just no band this year. Illegals live there.
Yeah, and in 2021, instead of being adults, it was all children, and people don't cover it, don't care because it was the beginning of the Biden administration.
Why is that, y'all? Why?
And more people, if you guys have some time, you need to look up 2021 OR child shelters. You'll see all the horrible reports that came out.
And by the way, I'm glad you raised old reports because this is currently happening. If you go back like 12 years ago, the head of the Clinton Foundation got caught smuggling hundreds of Haitians. People can look this up. Elite children as young as 5 into New York and other areas. She went to prison for a long time. She got out, and recently she heads up the Amber Alert system. You can't make, so they know which kids that's what you want to be in control of. Think, folks. Back then, it was still a big enough deal with the feds that she went to jail. This is being done by our own government at a mass scale, and it's just been normalized now.
Right. Well, to a certain extent, when you have all these hundreds of thousands of children coming in, there's no real good answer. I mean, there's more children than you have government workers. What do you
52.
It's
that's what I'm
like
saying, though. But the government created the
Okay,
problem.
let me jump to here, guys.
That's right. That's right. And then they put us all in a crisis, and then people beg for government to then solve the exact same problem that they created. And one of the things that they do, it's real simple, actually. this point, there is no room for that, in my opinion.
All right, stay there. Let's do 5 more minutes ahead of Jason Berman's coming up. Then Owen Schroyer will be back on with him. And by then, you got here. You're great. You can tell us what clips you want. This hour turned out very, very powerful. I've seen the clips on how powerful they are. So I want to make sure we've got all those ready for the next show.
Yes, Debbie. Good comment.
And edit it down.
I don't remember any of that troll
investigation. And get that out tomorrow. Because this is so huge, ladies and gentlemen. There's just so much evidence. We're going to get it all in there.
Christian group. So guys, this is what I'm going to do. There's a lot of people watching.
Carlos,
and
Anthony, stay right there. I'm going to come back. You guys have the floor.
Like Alex Jones said, this is a powerful hour interview, even though it's not my stuff. But I want to, so let me do this real fast. Very important. Right there on the screen is what you guys want to follow on Twitter and on YouTube. I just learned to him, guys. So quick, just so you guys know, I listened to Alex Jones while I was every night with Noel. We listened to his live stream on Gettr. Very informative, especially as of recently. Then we found out that everything got liquidated, which is fine. Again, the Sandy Hook people deserve justice. Even if you love Alex Jones, like myself, you made a mistake, but should he pay for it? Yeah. Are they going overboard? And is the government getting involved? In my opinion, absolutely. Should the family get paid and deserve justice? Yeah, absolutely. There's a tough one to get around right there. However, with that to the side, I enjoy Alex Jones. Okay, I enjoy him. I listen to him. I got to find something somewhere elsewhere. I'm glad that I found this guy on the screen. I'm very happy to have found him. He is doing excellent work. I got about 3 more minutes of this to show you guys, and then I'm going to show you another video that he did. He's only got 20,000 on YouTube. I think that he should be up there to the hundreds of thousands. This is another James O'Keefe. This is another OMG Media. I like Alex, but now he's gone. I'm going to predict this, and I hope that Jesus Christ I'm wrong. I think they're going to take out Tucker next. I think Tucker's out of there. So you have to constantly find sources of information to get your information. We're living in the information world. This is the information war, like the show InfoWars. It's what it is. I mean, and people, you got to be informed, and you got to keep up with the next thing, because once you get too big in this space, unfortunately, they will erase you. They will erase you. It's part of what it is, y'all. That's why you should go to White Boy Radio Clips right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bodies is back in stock, and frankly, it's a miracle. It is a miracle that Bodies.
Well, I don't like it that much, Alex. I'm not pushing your friggin' vitamins over here. Okay, let's hear this. Here it is.
To perform mass deportations, millions upon millions of people. Eisenhower did it. It was.
We know that freedom of speech is under attack. We know that freedom of speech is under attack.
Carlos.com. Be sure to support these guys. Anthony Rubin, muckracker.com. We only got 5 minutes left, and Burmis was going to be on. Actually, it's going to be the Tucker Carlson excerpts of the big event Monday, and then coming up at 3 o'clock in less than an hour, Owen Schroyer. I'm not under the weather, folks, but I just screamed and yelled at that event, and then kind of got something in my throat. I don't have a fever, but I'm not feeling too hot because I only got 3 hours sleep Tuesday night.
That's true, Angel. I'm over there too.
But I'll be back hopefully strong tomorrow here. As soon as I'm off here, I'm going to shoot some key reports.
This is very true stocks
World
too.
War III developments are the biggest ever. But we're losing our heart and soul with this human trafficking. So solutions, Carlos and Anthony right now.
Absolutely. Carlos, you want to go first?
True cash.
Shoot. These are solutions. I can't think of anything else right now other than, got to vote for Trump. Got to tell people vote for Trump because I was working in the moving of the children under his administration, and it was a lot better. I used to worry about, hey, I need to find another job because there's no work, and when there's no work, it means there's no kids to move. So we got to tell people to vote for him, and that's what all I can think about.
That really is the big one. I mean, Trump's going to shut that border down.
He's not only got to shut it down. As far as solutions go, he not only has to shut it down, he has to have, I know he's called for it, but I hope there's actual political will for it once he's in the White House, if he gets there, God willing. to perform mass deportations, millions upon.
Okay, so I want to show you one more Muck Racker video on tonight's live. One more. This is very important. We have Cash Gurnan here. They have a bill, okay, on these foster homes, okay? These foster homes, there's a lot of stuff going on with these foster homes, people. A lot of stuff going on, okay? The bill, she was on here. She discussed it. I re-uploaded a clip, so you guys should be aware and have enough knowledge in that of what's going on. If you don't, please go back and watch that. But there's these charities as well, these charity foundations, okay? This is a very short clip. It's also on Muck Rackers, okay? I'm gonna play it. I didn't think we'd get this far, but I'm glad that we are because this is an important topic. Again, I'm not here, man. If you are, I'm not here to fight. I don't really care about if you listen, man. I'm gonna say this. I like Trump, but like, besides him, there's only a few others that I do like. The Republicans are right in with the fuckery, right with the left. So I'm not this alt-right person. I think they all suck. The Republicans are weak. They're weak. They know this is going on. They co-sign the fucking things. There's too much going on, people, around us, and no matter where you live at, we're all facing the same thing. Why are we all having the same problems? Why? Why? It's bigger, people. We're all having the same problems from country to country. That doesn't, when's the last time that happened? People, this shit gets deep. It gets deep. Don't get caught up on all this, like, fighting over race and fighting over, like, this train. That shit is meant to divide a motherfucker. That is stupid. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That's why I don't want to fight with anybody in the comments if you're mad about, you know, it's not a personal attack. It's about children, our future. It's got nothing to do with no political advancement. Nothing, man. Nothing. Anyway, with that said,
Read Bab's comment, please.
I'm about to. I want to show this, though. Illegal alien foster homes exposed. We're gonna put this one on next. This should blow your mind. He's going undercover in 3 of them. I hope Cash is in here still. This has to do with Cash and what they have in who do you want me to read, babe?
Babs, BABS.
Okay, Nikita, Selena.
He is under Exoria and on top of Tracy Nana.
Okay, look at the screen. Okay, because mine said so. I see Judy. CPS is trafficking. Yes, Cash. I see you. Then I see Selena HM. Then I see Socks 2. I see Cash again. I see. Okay, what happened here? Wait a minute.
Keep going.
Wait a minute. I hit bottom. Okay, then I see Debbie, you, Cash, Exoria, Babs. Right here, Babs. Oh my God, I can't believe you called dog and left that message. Laughing my ass off. You said everything I wanted to, minus the blonde pubes. Thank you. Not a problem. We'll give him another call if we have enough time. Fuck dog. All right. Dog ain't talking about this. Dog is trying to stir the pot on Katie Proudfoot, who doesn't know Don Wells. Why? That's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. All right, so guys, this is very important. This is very important. You know, me and Noel were going to foster a kid in the past. What sucks is I was very afraid of.
I still want to.
I was
not something I've given up on.
I think it was. It's not that we gave up about it. I think we wanted to do it, but I was afraid to apply because of my criminal record, even though it's old. I think I wouldn't have a problem though.
Well, we were going to do it, and then we stopped talking about it. Then you got arrested again.
Yeah, and the morale went down. But all right, guys, look. So I want to play this for you. This is so freaking important. This is also missing children. This is not that long. Have a listen.
Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to in this black car? Where are you going, man?
Same person. I'll drop it in the description box.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, I have to put
Where
the
you
window
going?
up.
Where are you taking these kids to?
Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God. Where are these kids going?
Very important, guys.
What is this place? Don't touch me,
No,
dude.
it's not. Nobody's touching you.
All right,
Whoa.
all right,
Goodbye.
all right.
Goodbye.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Goodbye.
Don't get in my
Goodbye.
face.
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my face?
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my
Goodbye,
face?
bro. Goodbye.
Why are
bro.
you getting in my
have nothing to
face?
do here. Goodbye, bro.
There's kids in that car. What's going on?
You always ask for a child's well-being. If you
Why
if
are you
have a
guys
bad
driving these
feeling,
kids around?
You always ask for the kid. You always ask for the well-being of the child.
Is this
Always.
legal?
You're never wrong for doing that. It's actually your
Under
civic
the Biden
duty.
administration, nearly 500,000 children have been trafficked into the United States. They are transported via mass human smuggling routes, such as the Darien Gap jungle, and onboard Mexico's Train of Death. After detention by Border Patrol, unaccompanied children are transferred to the supervision of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, also known as
Victoria, I did it
ORR,
earlier in the
within
live.
72 hours.
You'll get a chuckle
While
out of
their
it.
cases are being processed, children are held in top-secret facilities, such as this compound in Carrizo Springs, Texas, or this repurposed Walmart center in Brownsville, Texas. ORR then works to place these children with sponsors across the country. Ideally, sponsors are relatives or family friends already residing in the United States. However, due to questionable vetting procedures, it is not uncommon for children to end up in the hands of human traffickers. Since 2021, 1/3 of the children who have been placed with a sponsor have never been heard from again.
Guys, I just want to remind everybody what you're learning tonight, especially on this video. If you are a United States citizen, we are paying for this. You, your husband, that goes to work, them taxes taken out of that check, a portion of that money is going towards what you're about to view. The entire stream you're paying for.
Others have fallen victim to sex and labor trafficking. Some children have no sponsor and are transferred to government-backed foster homes. Muck Racker has obtained footage of government contractors delivering children to foster homes in the middle of the night. The homes seen in this video receive millions of dollars in federal funding, and some are currently facing accusations of sexual assault and abuse. This video will expose the illegal alien foster home system. The
guy's
process
really good.
first
I
begins
like him a
in
lot.
states such as Texas, where so-callalled escorts move children from compounds
seeker, he really
to
is.
their final destination.
I hope he sees this
Yo, what are
tag.
you guys doing?
Appreciate your work, bro. If you see
Yeah,
that,
I can film this in a public place, brother.
watch this.
Where you guys moving these kids to? Where you guys moving these kids to? Huh?
It's none of your business, my friend.
But do you guys got paperwork for these kids?
Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it.
Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it. You know, 1/3 of these kids go missing.
Sorry.
1/3 of these kids go missing.
So true.
This the truth.
It is.
1/3 of the kids go missing, he says. Guys, give me 1 second. I got to
Correct.
step away
That's
for
the
1
New York
second.
Times
Give me 1
article.
second.
1/3 of these kids that dropped off at this month. I mean, these look like grown men though. How old are these kids? You guys work for Compass Connections?
Say so.
Huh?
Say so.
Yes or no?
Really answer anything, man.
Okay, that's fine. Well, this is a public place. I'm allowed to film here.
You do whatever you want to do, that's fine.
Okay. Why are you guys so secretive? I'm so curious. Like, what's the big secret here? Hello?
Seems like you know more than us, so.
Huh?
Seems like you know more than us, so you told us.
Okay, I just don't understand. Like, why are you hiding your face, man?
Give me 1 second, guys.
What's the big secret? Hey, amigo. Amigos. You tell these kids not to talk, huh? Yo, amigo. Damn, man. What's going on here? Hey, can I ask you guys a question? I'm just filming for my own safety. You guys know anything about this? About,
Yeah, it happens every day.
about these guys moving these kids to the airport? Straight up.
It's America.
It's American.
It's America, where we move kids to airports.
You heard that?
You guys proud of what you're doing here? It's pretty wild, man.
All right, guys, come back.
Welcome to America.
As of 2024, billions of dollars have been granted to foster homes across the country as part of ORR's Unaccompanied Children Program, allowing foster homes to generate millions of dollars of
I had to
revenue
go to the bathroom,
off
guys.
of trafficked children. Many of these homes have a history of sexual assault and abuse. 3 of the 4 homes that we went.
Perfect. Okay, look, put your comments on the screen now. Actually, I'm gonna use my phone to do it. So these 3 homes are very important, man. This is craziness, y'all. This is craziness. I'll put your comments on the screen. I had to go to the bathroom. Listen to this. I don't know this guy. I'm playing a lot of his content. I'm not worried about Alex Jones. Y'all leave some positive comments for Muck Racker. I'm not trying to this is like super awareness. And when you don't know a creator, you're supposed to stop and start the video because they can copyright you and this and that. But I know he wants people to share the information, so I don't think he's going to do that. And I don't want to stop and there's nothing for me to say. He's got it nailed right here. So I want to keep playing. If I have some input, I will. But if I stop it, that's the only reason I'm doing it.
And this children being delivered to have faced serious sexual assault allegations. According to a New York Post article, at least 28 victims from the Children's Village have come forward. The alleged victims describe brutal attacks from older, stronger kids at the Children's Village, as well as staffers, including being groped, beaten, forced into oral sex, and anally raped. One victim was abused so violently that they were sent to the hospital for an injured penis. Despite this, the Children's Village continues to receive tens of millions of dollars in federal funding. According to a PBS article, an 8-year-old Guatemalan boy in a Cayuga Center foster home told a counselor he was repeatedly sexually molested by other boys in the foster home. And in one Cayuga home, a foster parent found a little girl being forced to touch another child's private parts and kiss her on the lips. Despite these allegations, in 2023, Cayuga was granted over $100 million federal taxpayer dollars. Then, there's St. Christopher's Inc. According to a Manhattan law firm, during their plaintiff's residency at St. Christopher's, an employee sexually abused the plaintiff on over 100 occasions. The sexual abuse included kissing, fondling, oral sex, digital penetration, and vaginal sexual intercourse. The plaintiff was impregnated, and the pregnancy was terminated. The final foster home that we witnessed children being delivered to is run by Catholic Guardian Services. The front door is monitored by multiple cameras, and the property is enclosed with barbed wire fence. It is worth considering whether these security measures are designed to keep intruders out or to keep residents from escaping. Every day, children are flown to airports across the country and delivered to foster homes like the ones you have seen in this video in the middle of the night. This is what the delivery process looks like.
Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to?
Watch this, guys. So this is the freakiest part of this stuff, guys. In the beginning, if you remember back when he was asking, we played the Alex Jones clip where this guy was on the show with Carlos, which a different clip. The first clip that I played, there was this weird stuff when he approaches these people and asks them questions. There's this weird secrecy. Here he is again, and he's specifically asking, "What are you doing with these kids?" This is the weirdest part of the whole thing for me. I mean, it's all weird. Don't get me wrong, but just check this out.
Whoa. Where are you guys moving these kids to? Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to in this black car?
Look at this, man.
Hey, man, where is this going?
Where
is this driving to?
So he gets this dude. So he gets this dude, and Buddy, he almost I can't tell you. Just watch it.
Just roll up the window, man.
Dude, I can blur your face. This is not looking good. Just all I'm asking is where this is going to, because a lot of these kids go missing. Where's this going to? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so where you looking for?
We got a lot of people in the chat, man.
I'm independent media. I'm independent media, and I've done a lot of work on this. My videos have millions of views. This is gonna look really bad if you roll up the window. Where are you guys taking these kids? That's all we want to know. Where are the kids going?
Okay, what do they tell you? What they tell you?
They won't tell me anything. Look, he's telling me to roll up the window.
Okay.
He's telling me to roll up the window. Where are you taking these kids? It's gonna look really bad if you roll up that window, bro. Where are you taking the kids to?
Okay, so who do you work for?
I'm independent. I work for myself. I'm an independent news reporter. Where are you going, man?
Victoria, I bet it is.
Whoa.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, I have to put
Where
the
you
window
going?
up.
Where are you taking these kids to?
Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God. Hey, where are you guys flying to today? Where are you guys driving to?
Why?
Well, a lot of these kids, a third of these kids, according to the New York Times, go missing.
So what's really evil to me is the women. The black dude that's driving, he wanted to say something, then he got caught, and he was like, "Oh shit, how do I get out of this?" And then he ends up rolling the window up anyhow. But when it comes to a woman, you just expect her to I don't know. You expect a woman to always have the child's best interest. What do they say? A woman is the closest thing to God because a woman can bring in a child. A woman can have birth. You just think you think of a woman always have the best interest. I know there's some horrible women out there. I understand all that, but this is disappointing. This is disappointing.
Oh, well, not these.
Not these?
They're with us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'm just curious. You guys going to a foster home?
No, sir. It doesn't matter where they're going.
Oh, okay.
We don't need to.
Well, how can we guarantee this kid's safety? Because you're not going to check up on them, right?
You don't know that.
Well, there's a 30-day wellness check that happens after you drop them off, right? And a third of those calls go unanswered.
You don't know what we're doing, so thank you.
Do you work with MVM or Southwest Key? Hola. Whoa, do you tell these kids not to talk?
Yeah.
You tell these kids
didn't
not to talk?
ask my permission to be on.
Well, this is a one-party.
ask-
It's a one-party consent state in New York. This is a public place. Unfortunately, I'll give you some space. That's fine. Hola. ¿Cómo estás, amigos? Yo soy un amigo. No problema. No problema. ¿Qué país tú? Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. ¿Qué país? What? No problema. Es América. Es América. No problema aquí. Amigos, ¿qué pasa? You okay? Hey, what company do you work for? Can I know that?
We don't answer questions, brother.
Huh? What company do you work for? That's all I want to know. I mean, it's a public concern with these kids. A lot of men are going missing. It's in Department of Homeland Security documents, and some of them get delivered into the hands of sex traffickers. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I'm saying it does happen. This is known. I'm saying, are you MVM, Southwest Key? That's all we want to know.
I don't answer any questions, brother.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, no.
So this gets weird too.
Hey, don't touch me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't touch me, dude.
Can you go?
Why are they
Don't
so
touch me.
hostile?
Can you
He's
go?
literally asking what
You're
they're doing with
gonna
the
have to leave.
children.
Don't touch me,
No,
dude.
it's not. Nobody's touching you.
All right,
No.
all right, all right.
Goodbye.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Goodbye.
Don't get in my
Goodbye.
face.
Goodbye.
Why
Why
is
you
so
getting in my face?
hostile?
Why you getting in my
about this?
face?
Goodbye, bro.
I'm gonna drop this.
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my face?
Do here. Goodbye, bro.
What's the name of this place?
None of your business.
It's in the chat now. It'll be in
Goodbye.
the description box.
Have a blessed day, bro.
I'll have a blessed day. That's
Come
fine.
here looking for problems.
I'm happy to disperse the area. Can you tell me who I'm gonna have to call the police if you're not gonna tell me, because there's kids in that car. What is this place? I'm with myself, but I saw there were some kids in the back of that car. And
Stop filming me.
okay, I'll stop filming you. But it's very concerning that there's kids in the back of that car.
He's asking about children.
Well, this is for my own safety because you're approaching me. You're approaching me.
I'm not approaching you.
Why are you approaching me?
I'm security on this property.
Okay, but there's some very strange activity with kids in the car.
Wow.
Who are the kids?
I can't tell you these things. I'm security.
All right, I can
Can't
leave.
tell you
I'll
these
leave, but there's
things.
kids in that car. What's going on?
I can't tell you that information.
It's crazy.
Why are you guys driving these kids
y'all.
around?
I can't tell you no information.
Is this legal?
I can't tell you no information.
Is this legal? I can't
This
tell
is
you.
private
What the
property.
All right, I'll get off the private prop. What is this? Where are we? Who's in the car?
It is estimated that 60% of all child sex trafficking cases involve children from foster care or group homes. Between 2000 and 2018,
Muck Racker, guys. Remember the
114,000
name.
missing foster
Subscribe.
children had
Muck
their cases
Racker.
closed without being found. Every day, an average of 400 unaccompanied children are trafficked into the United States, many of whom end up in the foster system. Since 2021, 85,000 of these unaccompanied children have gone missing and have never been heard from again. The open border policies of so-called progressive politicians, such as Joe Biden and the Squad, have resulted in a never-ending stream of children to be profited off of through an international child trafficking pipeline that stretches from South America to the United States.
Guys, look, I'm going to end this on something that I've been saying a long time. We talk about tragedy pimps, people that are hurting the parents. It is easy for me to come on here and tell you that Don and Candace did a big fucking conspiracy with their little girl, Summer Wells. And if you want to eat that up and you want to take that information in and you want to believe it, that is on you. And there's a lot of people who float around the channel and actually do take it in and will argue you. The theories go beyond what law enforcement says or anything like that. There's much more bigger things happening around the world with missing. Where are all these missing? Do you mean to tell me every time there's a missing kid, we have to look at foul play at the parent? Stop it. You should look at everybody. You should. But after like a thorough investigation from law enforcement, FBI, for you to still sit there with your silly stop. We're seeing it in all these cases on YouTube. I'm going to tell you, as a creator, they're doing it to play on your heartstrings, to make you think on these conspiracies. They're playing you. These creators are doing it. But for the people who actually care about these missing children, there's a bigger thing going on. And that's what I wanted to show you guys. It's what I wanted to bring on to you guys today. This is very difficult to take in. The links will be in the description. It's happening in your neighborhood and in your country as well. NGOs, that's everywhere. This is not just America. This is the missing children in your neighborhood. More than likely, this is happening. This is exactly what's happening. This is focusing on the migrant kids. The 300. Biden's only been in office for 3.5 years. There's almost 350,000 missing children. This is exactly giving you the scope of where they are and what's happened to them. You have to use your brain, especially for the ones that believe every conspiracy with Don and Candace. You got to use your brain. Could some of the criminal organizations involved in this have something to do with the cases that I love dear to my heart and pay attention to on YouTube? It's not for me to tell you who to vote for, what to believe, and who to think. But what I will do is tell you who to subscribe to. And that's Muck Racker. Find it in the description. I love you guys. You've been more than generous. You've been very good to me. It's come on the 2-hour mark.
They were beyond amazingly generous tonight. And I did thank everybody, but you should click and just take a peek.
I will. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I want to jump off here for the 2-hour mark. There's a lot of information, and this has to do with a very, very hard subject, man. But we pay attention to these missing children. So if we do, we need to take in all the information pertaining to these missing children, not what our favorite YouTuber says. And it doesn't matter who you vote for, who you want to vote for, who you support politically. Look, I'm going to do this if President Trump was to blame for the borders open. He could suck my dick too if he was to harm children. I'm just saying. So leave it all alone. Much respect, much love to everybody, of every creed, of every race, of everything. But the children are our future, man. Until the next one, I'm signing off.